Well, there are so many aspects of this man's career that we want to cover, and I just want to move on to some of them. Two aspects that I think made Jim and Jesse so interesting and made them unique were his style of mandolin playing, which nobody else was doing, and their vocal style. And if you go back, and they were very adventurous in finding different kinds of songs to sing. They broke a lot of barriers musically, and one thing that I just loved about your sound was just Jim's tenor over your lead voice. It was so smooth and so tight and very clean and emotional at the same time. Whose vocal styles were you listening to when you were boys?
Well, we listened to the Delmore Brothers and the Blue Sky Boys and the Mainers, Mountaineers, and I guess we set our style between the Delmore Brothers and the Blue Sky Boys. Of course, we had records of Bill and Charlie, the one Blue Brothers, and we learned. That's who we learned from, and Jim sort of developed his own style of tenor singing. I tried to get him to sing like Bill Monroe or R. Leuven or something. He thought I do it my way, and if it didn't feel comfortable to him, he wouldn't do it. And if he had if I had an extra chord I wanted to put in a tune, well, he'd just leave it out.
You know what? That's called old-time music.
So I always told Jim, I said, whenever you die, I think we'll put it on your tombstone. Here's a man who used about 10% of his potential. Because he's just so relaxed, and he never really got excited about anything. And, I mean, if his house would catch on fire, he'd say, well, that shouldn't have happened. I reckon I should call the fire department.
I got her to say that the one time I remember Jim getting really excited was down here in the Catskills and the Pines Resort. Little Roy Lewis was just deviling you guys to death, driving you to just crazy, running around in between you, crawling on his hands and knees, and he dropped his picks and he's going, I dropped my pick, and he ran around under your knees and then under Jim's, and Jim McReynolds, you know, the man with the perfect hair. These both guys had perfect hair, never right in place, sat right on top of Little Roy Lewis. It was the most beautiful moment I ever saw.
Yeah, Little Roy could get more out of Jim than anybody could. He came, I just will say, he came to me one day, he said, do you think Jim would get mad if I messed his howl up? I said, well, no, he likes you. You can do anything you want
to do. The things siblings will do to each other. So tell me, when did you first hear the Leuven Brothers?
I guess first I heard them was, I guess when I stopped dreaming. And well, the first one they had was Alabama. The first recording they had, and we learned a lot of their tunes. We all started out about the same time, and incidentally, when I went to Korea in 1953, I met Charlie in Korea. So me and Charlie got together over there and started singing together. Both of us were lead singers, so we sung, I guess, at quite a few of the places, and Jim always joked about that. He said, Jess and Charlie started singing in Korea and they signed a truce pretty quick. I thought that was the ultimate weapon. At least we got it ended over there.
Well, with the vocal style, you two did a tribute to the Leuven Brothers, and that is one of my favorite recordings on the planet. I mean, nobody who loves old-time country music or bluegrass can ignore the enormous talent and writing of the Leuven Brothers, but you guys had your own take on it, and I dearly loved, you know, Jim could stand there and hit these high notes that would just be hair-raising, but not a hair would move.
Yeah, He had a way of taking care of that.
Yeah, he did. And so their vocal style, I would say Jim and Jesse's vocal style was a little bit more smooth and polished than the hardcore mountain sound that would be equated with like the Stanleys, who lived 8 miles away from them. Moving on to the instrumental makeup. Now, you guys started out with a mandolin and a guitar, and you had probably heard, well, of course, the Delmores often had a regular guitar and a tenor guitar, and the blues guys had the mandolin and the guitar, and Bill and Charlie Monroe had the mandolin and the guitar. And what mandolin players were you listening to for your early ideas?
Well, I was listening to Bill Monroe, and Red Richter made a big impression on me. He worked with Carl Story in Knoxville. They had a radio show every day on WNOX called the Midday Merry-Go-Round, and Red was the mandolin player for Carl Story, and he was a great mandolin player.
Did you know a guy named Jesse Easterday? Or
what's that?
Was it Jesse Easterday or something like that? Played the mandolin in that area? Norman Blakey told me there was a guy that played on Cass Walker's show that played early mandolin.
There was, I think Paul Buskirk.
Paul Buskirk, yeah, I've heard you talk about him.
He worked there a lot, yeah.
Yeah, now when you tell the folks how it happened, play a little bit of what makes that. We're going to get these, I'm going to get off the stage soon, and we're going to get these guys to play music. See, now look at that, how do I get a hand? Sometimes people will clap for you when they know you're going to leave. Can you give just a little example of that kind of roll thing that you do?
Well, since you mentioned the first record we did, I played this, we called it, someone named it cross pick, and I didn't know what to call it, because Jim called it everything. Anyway, this is when we did the first record, we was looking for a fiddle player to play on the session. We found Sonny James had just signed with Capitol Records, same time we had, and Farm Young, and so we got Sonny to play fiddle on the first record, and I played this mandolin style on it, and in spite of what Jim thought about it, everybody really complimented me on it. So we did a little bit of what he missed me.
Now, where did you get the idea for doing this kind of mandolin playing?
Actually, I heard Earl Scruggs. I didn't know how Earl played. I just heard him on the radio. We had a man work with us who was Snuffy Jenkins' nephew, Hope Jenkins, and we worked in his band. He played banjo. In fact, he played banjo on this tune, and the only way he could play was backwards. The backwards, for banjo players, you know what I'm talking about. There's a forward roll and there's a backwards roll, and he could not play the forward roll, and I didn't know the difference in it. But he could.
I'm going to bug out of here in a second so that Buddy Griffin can take his rightful place.
Anyway, I learned to play the backwards roll on the mandolin. So.
And oh no. I just want to say before I get off the stage that we have only touched on the things this man has accomplished. He's also a great guitar player. He did a guitar album that I really loved. And just all the things, they've broken so many barriers over the years, and they were perfect gentlemen about it, at least to us. They might have been brothers, but they were
we got along good, really.
Perfect gentlemen about it, and they set standards of professionalism that we all still admire today. And he went on to do things like he played mandolin on an album by the rock band The Doors. You know, he did all kinds of things. So we have just touched on him.